Hello. Starting at 3:33. Oh, interesting. What it was for, but interesting. Oh yes, that's what I was going to do. I was going to close a couple of things, because that would definitely help with releasing some resources. Oh yes, and that was the other thing. That'll help too. I'm going to turn Wi-Fi off on my phone. I don't know why I turned Bluetooth off, but anyway, I just turned everything off on my phone. Okay. So it's asking me for a password. Anyway, sorry about that. Hello, hello, hello. Just going to give it a minute. Oh yes, sharing is caring. I have to move my tea so I can access the bottom here, and I'll move my cards as well. And yeah, and then we'll talk. All right. Let's try this. Hello, hello. How are you doing? How are you doing? Oops. How was your Tuesday? Where in the world are you? How's your life? What are you looking for on TikTok? Last group. There. Hello, hello. Say hello, Maria. My Maria. Yeah, when we get a few more people, I'll start doing a couple of other things. Hi, Deep. Hello. All right. I think you can edit. I think that you can edit the YouTube video so that it is. My brain's losing the words. So you can trim the beginning of it so I don't have to have the video that's uploaded there. Hi, Elizabeth. How are you? Did you manage to make it through that material from the Hidden Frequencies course? How did you find that stuff? How did you find the meditation and I mean, providing that you've gotten through it all? Hi, Daniel. Ray. Hi, Ashley. Hello, Amy. I was going to say hi to everybody. You have to schedule it in your calendar. Schedule it in your calendar. Look at your calendar and see where you're free, right? And then just schedule it in your calendar as if it's the event. And then just you've blocked the time out, and you might treat it like you're attending the live. Maybe it's worth a shot. It's definitely worth a shot. Yeah. Hello, hello. How are you? So I had a really, well, sad, I guess would be a good word for it, but I had an experience yesterday. I had a bird that hit the window, and I went outside and got it, and it seemed like it was okay and that it was going to make a recovery. But he did end up not making it. And it was quite sudden. It just really affected me, right? That little life, that it was so senseless for it to hit the window and, and hurt itself and then die. Like, it was just sad. Ooh, we got the Ace of Wands. I decided to use the Animal Tarot because of that little bird, to honor that little guy for entering in. And, even if he exited in the way that he did, it was quite a good experience. Ooh, we got the Queen of Wands, but she's upside down. She's inverted. Hello. Why, thank you. I'll take that. Ooh. Oh, we've got the Emperor and the Ace of Pentacles. Those are two big. Oh. We've got the Page of Wands. Look at all these wands, like 3 of them. I mean, the fact that we started with the Ace of Wands, which is these beautiful ideas, these wonderful ideas that we're taking action on, that passionate energy that we have. So that's a really great energy to be starting with. And I love that it's represented by this beautiful dragonfly. Dragonflies are quite incredible. They are one of the most prolific hunters in the insect kingdom. They have like a 95% success rate, which is exceptionally high. So most other insects will give dragonflies a big free zone because they know, they're very, very good at that. So the Queen of Wands, she is usually full of passion and full of exuberance. She's fiery creativity, like creativity coming from the soul. But I think there's a misalignment here. So although we had this great idea, right? We have this beautiful, beautiful idea. I think the passion might have waned for it. And it might be because we weren't receiving what we had expected from it. And oftentimes we have to remember that it's our expectations that trap us. Right? If you expect that somebody's going to treat you a certain way, or somebody's going to respond a certain way, or something's going to happen, or money's going to come in one way, then you're tying yourself to the outcome. And when we tie ourselves to the outcome, then we're opening ourselves up to be disappointed, to be frustrated, and all of those things. Whereas if we just allow ourselves to open up to a variety of ways for whatever it is to show up, and just experience it however it comes in the moment. That changes things. So there's a little bit of lack of creativity, or a lack of passion. So it's about getting into alignment, which is perfect because that's what we're going to talk about today. So this is about redefining your alignment. And with the Page of Wands, that's newness as well, but this is sustainable new. So this could be that you really had this beautiful idea. I'll talk about my situation. So 4 years ago, I started Mind, Body, Spirit, Healthy Self. And that company, I was running it in looking at helping people with trauma and mental illness. And not that it's illness, it's more of misalignment and other things that are at factor there. So anyway, I was working specifically in that space, and I also aligned and I had so much passion for it, so much passion. Oh my God, I loved it. But then that passion waned, because it wasn't where I was meant to go. It was meant to be something to allow me to move beyond. I appreciate the sentiment, Apple, but I have a very intimate relationship with Yeshua, so thank you. But I'm going to continue doing this. So this can be that waning passions that, come in, but that's not about. It's not about, or not a bad thing. What it is it's the opportunity for you to make the shifts within your life, to align yourself more. And that came in by the way of this little badger. Not badgeries, but anyway, hello, how are you? So anyway, it came in by the Page of Wands, and the Page of Wands is new passion. And now that I'm doing Anshara'El, pathway of ascension, I have new passion for this. New passion. So then we got the Ace of Pentacles, and we also have the Emperor. So the Ace of Pentacles is about new confidence. It's about new like money, but there's the whole potential of prosperity all the way up to the King of Pentacles, which is, so this is something that has the potential to bring legacy level wealth. So whatever this initial idea is, it doesn't mean you have to throw it away. It might mean that you just have to get into alignment. There's something that's not quite in alignment with the way that it was, but that newness is coming in now, and you're going to have that new passion, that new fiery, drive towards it, lots of creativity. And that is bringing in new streams of finances and confidence. And you are the Emperor. So this is like, this is a lot of wealth, right? This is a good way that we're headed like that for a little reading. Okay, so let's go what we're going to talk about today, because we do learn here, right? It is about learning. It's fun to go and do all of these, to scroll and to look at things that are like ha ha ha, or to look at things that are like tarot or pendulums or any of that stuff. And it's okay to just go and I don't know, I guess there's lives on here where people are playing video games and other people watch them play video games, or there's lives where there's just people chatting and people go and watch them chatting. So there's all kinds of different things that you can interact with. And maybe looking at what can I do that's a little more healthy for me than just engaging in that. Like, how can I become the creator as opposed to the viewer? So what can you do in your environment? Like even hanging out with your kids and interacting with your kids is going to provide more value to you and your children than scrolling aimlessly. Or going out in nature is going to provide much more benefits to your overall health than scrolling, or than watching TV, or than gossiping, or whatever. So it's like actually doing things that is going to have the effects on your life that you want, right? To make the changes. So today we are going to talk about the pulse of alignment. So soul rhythms and sacred disruptions, because sometimes the things that disrupt us, like I said, with that, the Queen of Wands in the reverse, right? Those things that come up where maybe your passion kind of wanes, or, you feel a little more like, oh, you have the opportunity to just get into alignment because that's coming up, right? Same thing when you have whatever, anything can be out of alignment. Anything can be out of alignment. So yeah. So we're going to talk about that, right? How sometimes the things that happen are, they happen for, sorry, I was looking for something here. There we go. Sorry, I just had to block that painter guy because he was saying some inappropriate things. And I don't need that stuff on my live. Like, it's just you and me, baby, was mild compared to the other thing that he said to me, which was just gross. I totally made my brain just go. And so I yeah. Hi, Chexie. How are you, my dear? It's been a while. All right. So the theme of today's show is the sacred sequence, aligning action with divine timing. How are you? How are things out west? We were really, really hot, really dry. No, like we haven't had very much rain at all. I've been calling for the rain. I've been asking I've been asking the guardian of the waters to assist and to rain. I wanted, a couple of days back to back where you're just socked in with the slow, steady, just a slow, steady rain, so that it'll actually get into the earth, because everything is just so dry. And so I've been asking for that. But we've got cool, and we've got, it actually dipped down, I think 55 Fahrenheit, maybe even a little bit lower. I don't know if we got quite down to 50, but we definitely hit 55 Fahrenheit the other night. Yeah, I think we were that again last night. So it got chilly, chilly, considering, the change from being, in the 80s to now being in the 50s. It's like, what the heck? And the leaves are like, and all of a sudden I've got yellow leaves out there. I got a whole bunch of leaves out on my grass. It's crazy, Chexy. Looks like fall today. You can see. Can you see it? Does it look like fall? Sorry, guys. I can't do that for you. Right? So what do you need? Would you need rain? Do you need rain? You have the ability to do stuff like this too, right? You can do it too. All right. So the purpose of today's live is to anchor the awareness that right action is not just action. It is the expression of divine timing in motion. This live is going to invite you to harmonize your soul's inner rhythm with the divine orchestration of the universe. So recognizing that when timing aligns, miracles unfold. So I always talk in terms of true serials. So I'm going to talk about that when we're looking at the cosmic alignment or the celestial context that's currently with the skies. So the moon is in true Gemini, infusing the atmosphere with curiosity, adaptability, and a deep call to attune to the many frequencies of thought and communication. Think about Gemini, right? That's Gemini in a nutshell. Insatiable curiosity, this beautiful adaptability, while, the distorted view of astrology would say that that Gemini is, this and that is both true. So like they're a liar, or, they're two-faced or stuff like that's just the negativity that gets seeded, so that people take on this idea that they have this negative characteristic just because of some sign that they were born under, which is true. Like how many people take that on, and they take on all the negatives, and they're like, yeah, I'm just, a Sagittarius, or I'm just a Scorpio, or I'm just, so whatever you hold on to as a label, I am this, right? Be aware of what you're claiming as the label. And that doesn't mean that the whole thing needs to be thrown out, but it does mean that we need to be discerning what is the truth, right? Because whatever the truth is, then that's how we should be living. We should be living under that. So this airy influence invites mental flexibility, multidimensional dialogue, encouraging us to explore new perspectives without becoming scattered. The sun is in true sidereal Leo, which anchors this cerebral motion with heart-centered presence, because Leo's all about the heart, reminding us that true alignment is not just intellect, but embodiment. So this waning gibbous moon, it's like, wait, is it waning gibbous? I had to think for a second there. We're coming into the new moon on the 23rd. It supports synthesis, right? What lessons are ready to integrate, what thoughts are ready to evolve, and what noise can now be silenced in service of soul truth. So those are some big questions to ask yourself. So how are we doing? Just checking on my YouTube. All right. So the impulse, then the first teaching that I'm going to talk about is the impulse is sacred, but the timing is divine. And I love the way that is. The impulse is sacred, but the timing is divine. So the soul often speaks in pulses. And you'll get sudden insights, you'll get sparks of inspiration and nudges that stir your heart. But these sacred impulses are not always invitation for immediate movement. I do this all the time. I get something and I'm like, oh my God, we've got to do this now. And then I rush out to do it. But sometimes it needs to pause because you need to go, wait a second. Is this the right time to release this? Or is this the right time to do this? Because maybe it's not. I'm going to have to get you guys to tap on the screen. There's only a few of you here right now, and there's a reason why. Because if they see that I've been online for as long as I've been online and I only have 59 likes, they're going to say the people that follow me don't like me, so why should we show her to anyone else? And when you go through the live scroll, I'll be the last one on the list because they'll like, her friends don't even like her. Don't worry about that live. So I do need you guys to support me with your attention. And that's also a sacred response, right? If I'm giving you information, or even if you're on here and someone's entertaining you, and people, when they're being entertained, will probably be tap, 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 tap. Look at, they're so entertaining, right? And if you're learning something or there's an exchange of energy in that way, then there should be reciprocity with that. There has to be exchange as well. All right. So I don't think I didn't set up a gift thing, but that doesn't matter. The impulse is sacred, but timing is divine. So these sacred impulses are not always an invitation for immediate action. They are seeds, and each seed has a season. When we act prematurely, we pull the seed from the soil before its roots have anchored. When we delay too long, we might find that the moment has moved on and the window is now closed. So sacred timing is the intelligence of divine rhythm. It knows when to call forth action and when to anchor rest and when to let go. Because maybe it was in alignment with you at the version that you were at that moment and it wasn't ready to be released. So you waited and delayed to release it. Well, when you get to the point where it's ready to be released, maybe at that point it no longer aligns with you because the person that you became through that window or that season is not the person that's meant to launch or release that particular thing. So sometimes you have to be willing to just let it go. This just didn't happen. It just didn't flow. And I do that too. There's lots of things that I have created, but I haven't actually released them. And some of them I never will, even though I maybe did all the work for it, but it's just no longer in alignment with who I am, right? I have a whole course that I taught on trauma to allow people to be trauma informed, and I no longer do that. I used to teach Curate, quantum regression and integration therapy. I don't even use that in my work anymore. So I don't teach it either. That's something that I just let go. So some things are for a season or a reason or whatever, and then you just have to be willing to let them go when they're no longer aligned. So we're going to do our practical live exercise. I'm going to get you to place one hand on your heart and the other one on your womb. And then I want you to just breathe nice and deeply. And exhale. And do a couple more of those. One more. Now ask yourself, what has been stirring within me? What is its season? I'm just nodding as my stuff's coming in, right? Because I'm doing this with you. Is it time to plant, nurture, harvest, or release? So drop a word or phrase in the chat that reflects what phase you're currently in. Okay, and witness the collective rhythm just to see what everyone else is putting. Mine, I'm in the planting stage. A while ago, I had started writing a series of books, and I absolutely love these books and would love to have them to print. But right now, I'm in the plant stage. Very nice, very nice. Me too. I'm in the plant stage, so I like that. So we have two that are in the plant stage, and we'll see what ends up showing up on YouTube. And we'll see. And if not today, then in the video when people are watching the replay, I'll check the comments then and see. But we have two people in the plant stage from TikTok, and we'll see what's happening there. All right, let's move on from that one. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about was alignment is a sequence, not a sprint. And too often we do that. We try to run or rush or hurry things along. So many seek alignment as a finish line, a singular moment of clarity. But alignment is a living, breathing rhythm. It is a sacred choreography between intention, embodiment, and divine design. Your intention may be noble, which mine are, but if your nervous system is ungrounded, and it used to be, right, then your body will resist, and it'll subconsciously, or it'll end up sacrificing, self-sacrificing, right? It'll end up you'll end up being your own demise. You'll do things to intervene in a negative way without even realizing it. It's like forgetting to set your alarm, right? You think that that's done, like that you forgot to set your alarm because you just forgot about it. But meanwhile, that's just your body resisting and sometimes it's because there's a lesson that needs to be learned, right? Or there's an experience that you need to have. If your environment is chaotic, your soul's voice may be drowned out. How can you hear if everything's chaos? How can you hear if there's never any stillness, right? We need those things in order to hear our soul. Alignment means bringing all aspects of your being, the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, into a harmonious sequence that flows like music. Right? And it's a dance. It's a dance. And one day you may be in alignment in 3 out of 4 of those categories, and then you might be in alignment in all of them for several days or weeks, and then you might drop one of them for a brief moment and be in alignment in that. And that's okay. Every day you just do your best, right, to be in alignment as much as you can. I love all the 3s in your name, Wendy. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Look at 3s, and then there's 4s up there. We're moving on up. Very cool. So we're going to do a little practical exercise for this section. So we're going to do a inhale. And as we inhale, we're going to inhale thinking clarity. And as we exhale, we're going to exhale thinking alignment. We're going to take 3 breaths like that. Okay. So we're going to start with that, and then I'll guide you the rest of the way. Okay, so take a breath in. Clarity, right? And as we're exhaling, alignment. Clarity. Alignment. One more. Clarity. Alignment. Now I want you to start at the top of your head and scan through your body, sensing for how you're feeling after those 3 breaths. And if there's any tension remaining, if there's any pain, I want you to say that it's okay to release. It's okay to let go. If there's a message behind the tension or the pain, ask for it to be revealed. Now you're going to speak out loud. I act in harmony with the sacred sequence of my soul. Each step, a note in the divine melody. Okay. All right. The third section that I was going to talk about is sacred timing is not waiting, it's listening. The modern world idolizes urgency. We have whole hustle culture. We have overworked, like busyholics, workaholics. Like it's just go, 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 do, spend, 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 consume, consume, consume. And those of us who aren't doing that are the ones that are free. So your soul speaks in the silence. When we're urgent, when we're rushing, when we're go, go, go and do, we are not giving ourselves the opportunity to hear what our soul has to say. Because in order to do that, we have to be actively listening to our soul, not to the noise of the world around us, not to all the chaos. And we surely can't be running through life thinking that we're going to hear ourselves. Pausing with intention, right? When you're pausing with the intention of listening, with the intention of connection, right? Sometimes we pause or we think we're pausing, we're like, oh, I'm going to relax and watch some TV. I'm going to relax and watch a movie, right? And we think we're relaxing, but we're not, because whatever's going on that screen is energy that we're interacting with. And oftentimes it's creating emotional responses in us. So we have to be really intentional with what we're doing. Waiting, not from fear or avoidance, but from deep respect for the orchestration of divine flow. When we push and we try to control the outcome, we intervene with the flow, and we can create those blocks for ourselves because we start to push ourselves out of the stream of alignment. Like you think about in a shower, right? If you're pushing yourself over to get away from the shower curtain because it's whatever, and you keep pushing yourself, and eventually you're not in the stream, right? You've just pushed yourself out of there instead of just addressing like what it is with the shower curtain or, the alignment, right? And whatever alignment needs to be so that you can be standing in your shower and you're like underneath the stream of water in your shower. When we listen well, the pulse becomes clear. It tells us when to leap, when to surrender, and when to hold our breath in stillness. So we've got another practical exercise for us to do. So I want you to name one action that you felt compelled to take recently. Okay. You got something? What is one action you felt compelled to take recently? Oh, I love hearing the rain out there. Nice and slow, just like I requested. And anyway, if you're not willing to put it in the chat, that's fine. So now ask yourself, was that impulse rooted in fear, pressure, or divine clarity? I had the idea to take the lives that I was running in the groups each month and offer them as as you could join it for a fee, of course, but for those groups. And I feel like that was from the sense of divine clarity. It just makes sense to open up another avenue for individuals to join. And because I do a lot of planetary grid work within those or big events, where the more people that we have doing them, the more effect we're going to have, right? Like that's the more effect that we're going to have on things. So that was that one. So I want you, when you're asking that, feel into the body's response. And if the body's tensing up or contracting, or you feel fear rising in you, then that's your answer for you. If you feel expansive, grounded, at peace, well, then that's also speaking for you. Mhm. So now I'm going to invite you to write that action again, but this time discerning, do I move forward, wait, or realign, and honor that truth that arises. So if you feel like you've went too fast, or it was a fear response, then that's what I want you to do. I want you to look at, if I move forward with this now, then how will it be the most aligned to me to do so? Or is it to wait or to realign with this particular thing? Okay. So some of the common questions that are asked around this alignment concept is, how do I know if I'm procrastinating or aligning? Because sometimes we're waiting, right? And some of us are good at procrastinating. So it could feel the same way, right? So alignment is an attunement, not avoidance. Procrastination comes with a sense of heaviness, guilt, or anxiety. It feels like something you're avoiding because of discomfort or fear. Alignment, however, is present-based. So even in stillness, there is a sense of connection, readiness, and sacred pause. So you have to ask, do I feel disconnected, or am I quietly listening for that pulse, right? What if I missed my window? The divine does not operate in scarcity. If your soul encoded it, the opportunity will return in another way, another time, or another form. I already know in this one lifetime, I had a romantic connection with somebody that has been a divine partner before and was in alignment to be a divine partner in this lifetime. But they made decisions and choices that took them out of that alignment. So I'm not going to go without a divine partner because they did that. Something else is, like, another person is going to align with me in that space. So it's just a matter of, that alignment. It doesn't pass you by. It's just certain things may change. So it'll come in another form or another time or another way. So missing a window often reveals the pattern underneath, whether there's fear, hesitation, or disconnection. So instead of regret, ask, what did I learn about my rhythm? What can I do differently when the next pulse arises? And it might have been that you were moving out of fear. So the thing that you need to learn is to just become present and move in that sacred rhythm, and take that pause, right? Listen to yourself. So how do I move forward when the next step is unclear? This is a great question. I've asked this before myself. Like, I've been in situations where I'm like, I have no idea what the path forward is. And so I can speak to this really well, having experienced that. So divine action is not always revealed in full form. Clarity builds through movement. So start with presence, breathe, center, and ask, what is mine to tend to right now? And then act from there. The soul path unfolds through a series of aligned micro movements that lead to quantum leaps. So it can be so subtle, the changes that you make within your environment, that move the needle along. And you might do something today that is just honoring your soul. And that's all you had to do, because tomorrow the path reveals itself a little more fully. And why to do that? Because for once you were just resting and relaxing, and you weren't trying to control or dictate how it comes to you. You've let go of the expectations or the need to control, because control is often derived from a fear basis. You're afraid of things not turning out, or you have anxiety. So a lot of times we're trying to control things because to not have control can be scary, right? So can divine timing align with deadlines? Well, absolutely. When the container is clear and in resonance with your soul, deadlines come ways. However, when they arise from fear, pressure, or performance patterns, they constrict. So ask, is this line a safe container or a soul distortion? Because divine timing can work swiftly or slowly, What matters is the frequency you move from. Okay. So what role does the nervous system play in sacred timing? Well, a dysregulated nervous system comes through, a dysregulated nervous system often mistakes urgency for importance. Sacred timing requires that attunement, and attunement comes through a regulated system. So when your body is safe, it can hear the whisper of divine truth or divine rhythm. Both of them. So doing breath work, somatics, grounding, and daily rituals, like gentle daily rituals, prepare you to hear the call of clarity. So are you meditating? Are you allowing yourself to go into stillness? Are you listening to your body? Are you listening to your soul? Are you paying attention to what are your emotions? What is your mental? What is your spiritual? Like, what are your different bodies doing when we're looking at, at the different bodies? Right? Peace is beautiful. I love peace too. So what if I'm in a season of stillness, but my mind demands movement? And this is where that sacred disruption begins, because you're learning to disrupt the addiction to you have to learn to disrupt that addiction to constant motion. Stillness is not stagnation, right? It is composting, it is integration, it is reseeding. And in these seasons, the greatest growth often happening underground, right? Think about in the winter time, the seeds that are under the earth, they're still making a lot of growth for the new year. Like when the seed is planted, the growth is happening, right? The growth is happening underground as those roots are firming. And, the more that we can undisturb that during that time, the more rooted and more aligned and stronger and healthier that plant's going to be. So in these seasons, the greatest growth is typically happening underground. So instead of resisting stillness, ask, what is being rewoven beneath the surface? Like, what's going on underneath the surface? And another thing that I would say is, if you're really, if you have a problem with this, it's going to be to ask yourself, what is it that has me fearful of being in stillness, right? What is it that I'm fearing in those moments of stillness and silence? Because you should be comfortable with those. And it's usually rooted in some element of, trauma experienced as a child, or even something that you've acquired as an adult, if it's consistent enough as well. So we have a mini practice, because I like to do those things. So, and I'm going to talk about a few things as well, because one of the things that I wanted to talk about, I wanted to take a moment today to share something that's very close to my heart. Yeah, you need to do shielding and stuff like that. Like, you need to work on those elements when you're out in public. And I think it depends on where you are too, and what we're determining to be a crowd, right? Things like that, right? Because if you're talking about a crowd of like 20, 50, whatever people, and if things have changed within the city centers that you're in, it can be understandable why that would bring up an element of fear. But if you're talking about crowds of 3-4 people or more, right, and it could be, in a smaller, I think those things are big differences, right? It's big differences. So the thing that I wanted to talk about, that's very dear to my heart, is something sacred that's divinely seeded through remembrance, compassion, and divine timing. And it's called Hugs for Homeless. And it's not just a charity project. It is a movement of sacred care. It's a mission that Chris and I were both carrying in our hearts long before it took form. And now we are bringing it into the world together. So Chris is my friend. We've talked about Hugs for Homeless for years. And I wanted to do a bunch of different things with the homeless as initiatives. And I've decided that I'm just going to go for it. And that's because we've kept in contact over the years, and he let me know that he actually registered the company. So we discussed just doing it as a partnership. And so here we are, and I'm super excited about it. So Hugs for Homeless is about restoring dignity, warmth, and remembrance to those who have been forgotten. through care-filled backpacks packed with hygiene supplies, nourishing warmth, and messages of love, we are offering more than help. So we're offering human recognition. We're offering the energetic message. You are not invisible. You are loved and you are worthy. So what's happening right now is this is just a pre-release. This is just an announcement. The official website is still in the works, and the first outreach campaigns and volunteer events are coming soon. But for those of you who are already feel the call to support a mission like this, Christopher has launched a Go Get Funding campaign with a goal of raising $5,000 for our first major round of bags that we're going to be distributing to those who need it. If you also are somebody that has like a warehouse or a company that works in things like this, we are taking donations as well of those types of service or those types of supplies from the general public. Like, we're not going to be opening up that at this right now where somebody could just come and donate. I mean, I'm sure that's something that we will have as an option at some point, is just because I'm going to, when I'm creating the website, have the list of what we're putting in each of the packages. So if somebody wanted to take it upon themselves to put the package together and distribute it, but that's a self-led thing. But anyway, so the $5,000 is what will allow us to buy in bulk and reduce costs and get these sacred kits directly into the hands of those who need it. So how can you help today? If the mission speaks to you, if you know what it feels like to be unseen, if you've ever been homeless before, which I have, and I could have been this past few years if I wasn't lucky enough to have my family help me out. So if you want to be a part of this living remembrance, you can support us in 3 different ways today. You can donate to the Go Get Funding campaign, and I'll put the link in the YouTube video. You can share this message with your community, or talk about the fact, talk about Hugs for Homeless, and that it's, you can find it on Facebook. There's a Facebook group. So that Facebook group also has the Go Get Funding link there. And you can also just hold it as a prayer, a blessing, or a sacred intention that no soul goes unseen. This isn't just about backpacks, guys. This is about humanity. This is about kindness that's encoded with soul, right? This is about making sacred what the world has cast aside. So thank you for being here, and thank you for listening to all of this. Thank you. Thank you. Hugs for Homeless is live. Let's walk this path together. Let's help them. Ooh, are you sitting in silence? Are you sitting in silence? I bet they speak to you so much that you're not even aware how many times they speak to you. Sometimes our guides will speak to us through song lyrics. They speak in so many different ways. Hi, Vanna. Right? They speak to us in so many different ways. We're going to do a little exercise here because I like to do exercises in my lives. I like to teach and I like to help you guide. Yeah, definitely. You have to pay attention to the synchronicities. There is a sacred art. And so I'm First Nation Mohawk, although I look very white, I know. But I am First Nation Mohawk. And some of the things that Indigenous, we would track the seasons. We would listen to the animals. We would watch the signs, right? And we've lost that art looking into that. I collect the feathers that I find. I look at what the feather is from which animals guiding my path. When I see birds, I track which birds or animals that I'm seeing. I also look at some of the plants and how they change through the seasons. My mullein is like 5'9" maybe, right? Like it's a little bit taller than me as a stalk, like one of the second year plants where it's actually growing the flowered stalk. So it's a bit taller than me, which can indicate that there's going to be a lot of snowfall this year. So there's lots of ways that we get messages, and they're given to us through animals, through the wind, through visions, through hearing things. So we'll do a little exercise here and see if that doesn't help you just connect in a little bit. It wasn't specifically guiding someone. Well, it is talking to your oversoul though. This is a guide to talk to your oversoul. I forgot. I forgot which episode I was doing because I channeled the one for tomorrow. Sorry, for Thursday. I'm working on the one for Thursday, so it's just more apparent in my eyes. So we'll do that right now. I just want to have a sip of tea because I know it's not as hot as I'd like it to be. But luckily enough, it's lemon balm, so you can tend to drink that when it's a little bit cooler and it doesn't taste so bad. Okay. So this mini practice is an alignment attunement. I move as the breath of creation moves. I trust the pulse. I walk in rhythm with the divine. So what we're going to do is we're going to center into our breath. Okay, so gently close your eyes and just start slowing and deepening your breath. We want at least 3 nice deep breaths. In through your nose. And then out through your mouth, nice and slow. In through your nose. Out through your mouth. Just allow yourself to sink into that space that comes up. Another breath in through your nose. Out through your mouth. I want you to visualize your life as a spiral staircase. Not linear, but unfolding in perfect turns. As you approach the staircase, I want you to say out loud, I take the next aligned step. And you're going to walk the staircase, knowing that you are in alignment, taking these steps. As you climb higher and higher, you see above you a landing appear. As you step upon the landing, you see in front of you your oversoul, your higher self. They appear as they should for you. Some of us may see a light being. Some of us will see something human exactly like ourselves. Some of us even see our own reflection. Whatever you see is perfectly fine. It's exactly what you're meant to see. Your oversoul has a jewel in their hand. And they walk up and place it in your palm. What this jewel is the next right frequency. And as you look at your oversoul, you say, with gratitude, sealing this, I walk the sacred sequence with grace. The moment that you say that, the staircase opens up once more, leading you forward, taking the next aligned step in sacred sequence with grace. You are in the next right frequency. So there you go. How did that feel? How did that go for you? So Anshara'El, we don't just teach alignment, we join us in the work of weaving divine timing with real action, building a life that reflects your soul's deepest truth. Right now at Anshara'El, we have a sale going on. It's my summer September to school sale. So there's a few items that are on sale. I'm just going to talk about them for a brief moment here once I find my little thingy, my web page, my web page, so I can go to the page and talk about the different things that are on sale. So on Anshara'El, there is a page called Walk With Me Now, and that page has a whole list of things on it, and they'll have sale prices listed inside it. So I'll read those out to you. My system's a little slow, that's all, because I have so many things open. Walk with, if I type right, that would be helpful. That would be helpful. Walk with me now. When the page opens. Oh, I spelled it wrong. I didn't spell it wrong. It was the I just put the whole thing for this. There. No, I should have loaded it before. I should have been smart. So we've got some donation-based offerings. These are the ones that created for the purposes, kind of for those that are in transition or awakening resonance. So the letter is $33. That stays at $33, and that's receiving written transmission from your oversoul, channeled through my field, answering a question, activating remembrance, and restoring clarity. When asking a question, make sure that you ask in the notes section when you're going through there. That I shared here is just that the voice note oracle is regularly $44. It's on sale until September 7th for the same price as a voice note, as a soul letter. Sorry. Hello. I'm just talking about some sales that I have. Yeah, my system's a bit slow right now. I have too many things going on, I think. Oh, it's going to make me do my puzzle. I think. It might be. My screen went dim on my side, but it could be my going to doing. Oh, I think it was trying to, but it didn't have a. I don't know if you can still hear me. If everything, I know I hit a little bit of a low spot. Yeah, it's bringing up the verification window, but it's my internet's going so slow that it's not able to bring it up. There are a bunch of sales that are on right now because it's right there. So the oracle is on sale right now for $33 until September 7th. This is a secret offer. Finally came up. I just want to make sure that it's correct, because then that way, hey, yay, back in business. All right, so the oracle note, the voice of oracle is a sacred voice recording around 7 minutes, offering divine guidance, intuitive clarity, and oversoul frequency just for you. If there's something you'd like specifically answered or guidance that you're looking for, make sure that you put that in the note section. There's a light stream code reading, which is $77 regularly, but it is on sale for $55. And that is a light stream code reading, is a sacred energetic snapshot, delivering exactly what your soul needs to hear now. This is not a typical reading. It is a frequency activation designed to help you release distortion, remember your power, and align with your next steps. The Guardian activation call is $88. That's a live 22-minute energy alignment session to unlock your next mission step, recalibrate your field, and awaken your guardian flame. The Oversoul reading is $144 regularly. It's on sale until September 7th for $111. It's only available for a limited time. And the Oversoul reading, Sacred Oversoul reading, is a direct transmission from your highest soul expression, bringing forth remembrance, reclamation, and recalibration. Many carry gifts, truths, and codes that remain dormant, not because they are unworthy, but because no one has ever spoken to their oversoul directly. So it's just that it's going to activate you. And then there's a Christic Circle of Support, which you can just donate whatever you feel like. If you've only got $5 to donate, then that's fine. Whatever. It's just an open way to support me and the mission that I have at this, the mission with Anshara'El Pathway of Ascension, and Hugs for Homeless. So Activate the Path is Bridge to Light Phase 1. So the full foundational course is 12 sacred video teachings, a powerful recording, initiation to restore the original organic blueprint, clear distortion, and activate your light body and anchor your soul path. So this goes through trauma and it brings you into a sovereign thing. So it's really to go from victor to victim. From victim to victor. I said it an absolute opposite. So from victim to victor. So to step into the I am sovereign, right? So for the sale, this is regularly $888. It's on sale for $555. And there are payment like Phase 2 is live. I dated a little bit my surgery. So that's still time to get in before I start teaching it. It's a sacred live immersion to embody what you've remembered, reclaim your personal authority, and become the living architecture of the new earth. So Bridge to Light Phase 2 initiates full soul convergence, oversoul embodiment, plus the false grids within and around you. You are not just remembering, you are now becoming. So there'll be at least 6 sessions that will be taught, like 6 group teachings. There's guided light body activations and oversoul recoding. There's group question and answer, real-time support. There's private course portal and lifetime replay and integration ritual and materials. There's quite a bit in there. So this one's on sale as well until September 7th. We've got the membership. Some of the memberships are on sale right now. They're starting at $11, maximum $44. So I did on sale. I did a really cool thing, and the soul alignment sessions started at $122 and went all the way up to $244. And until September 7th, I've made them all $111. So it doesn't matter which one of the soul alignment sessions you've been looking at, they are all the same price. So that's a really great opportunity to access services that I have and to try things out at a what they normally are. So definitely check out the offers that are on Anshara'El. And remember that the book, that every live that I do, I have a companion journal that is aligned with that live. So that companion journal is available in the Temple of Light membership group. The membership group. Just an idea popped into my head at that time. I needed to talk to my Lord about increasing the Wi-Fi here because it's a bit choppy for me, unfortunately, trying to stream to 2 channels. I have to split the feed, so I'm on top the one and on YouTube another day. Hello. All right, so go check Anshara'El.com for his file. Thank you. Love you guys. Have a good day, and I will see you on Thursday, 3:30 p.m. Eastern. Thursday, 3:30 p.m. Eastern.